swear that's off the hook. Old school dope look. Paint job got them shook.
You are now listening to a Power Requires Hustle presentation. What up, world? This is King Kold the Rapper, and I'm hanging out in the Rabbit Hole studio tonight. I have a very special guest. It's my former manager and the former manager of Power Requires Hustle in general, Jamz is on the phone. Say what up, Jamz.
How's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no shit, man. Look, you've got a plethora of adoring fans that are definitely hype about hearing from you and just kind of catching up on what you've been up to. I know that you got a podcast that you've been working on and developing. You've got a YouTube show, more or less, where you basically do like everyday things but broke down like Jamz does it, which I actually really do like. You've got some shit going on, man. You want to tell us about what you got on your plate, what you got on your agenda?
Actually, just been kind of laying low, man. I'm getting low traffic numbers, and I'm trying to regroup and figure out what to do. With this pandemic going on, it kind of changed everything. Being a touring musician or a comedian or whatever, that's kind of off the table now.
Oh yeah, it killed all of us. It just destroyed everything. I mean, there were several. For example, Jelly Roll and Tech, they were going to go on tour, and that entire tour got canceled. Man, like everybody's plans got just train wrecked, over this shit, and it's been a battle for everyone, man. But it's some people have tried to adapt to the situation by doing more like podcasts through Skyping and stuff like that, so that they don't have to worry about being in the same room with one another. I know I cut off recording artists altogether until this shit clears up, bruh, I don't give a fuck, I've got a future to live for. I got shit to do, I can't die from something, petty or not petty, depending upon how you look at it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, like, the whole mask thing, like, I saw this sign on this door in fucking Paducah, Kentucky or something, and they were like, do not wear a mask in here, they're not allowed, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, man, imagine if you went to like a orgy and they were like, we don't wear condoms in here. Like, how long would you really stay there, to deal with that shit, But look, the world's a crazy motherfucking place. Literally cities have been caught on fire since we talked, back and forth, steady. And it's been a crazy world that we live in, man. Can you tell me how COVID has affected you at all?
Well, as you know, I've been operating a essential business through this whole damn thing. It's tough, man. It's really tough.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, I'm running the factory right now, the floor supervisor, and half of my people are out sick, half of them are working for Barry and a whole different, like, literally, some of them are in Jersey, some of them are in Tennessee, and they're filling in all these spots from where they had people that got sick, and they don't have enough workers. So they're literally paying these people room and board, plus an outrageous amount of money to go to like New Jersey for a month and live in a hotel room and work there.
Damn, the sad part is that cost is going to have to be passed on to the consumer.
Oh, no doubt. Like, someone down the road is getting fiddled over that money, and it's just, it's the way it is, man. But like, they can't let their industry just die. They gotta, like, every business has tried to evolve in one aspect or another to stay afloat. And man, it's hard. A lot of businesses are going under. I just kind of got lucky, with the fact that I really don't tour that often. So, like, I don't rely on that. Now, not being able to do live shows sucks, because that money is important. But it's been okay, man. People have come out the woodwork, buying shirts and t-shirt and CDs and shit like that here and there to keep stuff going, and it's not even keep the business going, but that I have a knack for coming out of pocket a little bit extra on the project to make it come together and make it work, So
that's the bad part is that is very true. I mean, you gotta. A lot of folks don't realize, oh, he's a musician, he's got money falling out of his pockets. No, we're always behind the eight ball, man.
Oh, dude, always. It's just I was talking to the Joker about it, and I was like, man, it's literally like this insane game of catch up, and like by the time somebody really likes something that you put out, you're already like fell out of love with it and working on something else, and you have other stuff that you want to get to, and it's just crazy to look at somebody like the Joker on his level, and he has the same similar concerns like, man, did I not give this release enough time to breathe or give it the opportunity to get out there enough, and you live and you learn. It is what it is.
The music industry has totally changed. I mean, hell, even 10 years ago, the joke still rang through, being a touring drummer like I was, I'm the guy who puts $5,000 worth of equipment into a $500 car. I'll drive 100 miles to make $50.
Dude, that's the realest shit I ever wrote, too. It's really like that. But no, with drummers, it's a total pain in the ass because you guys have so much shit to carry and break down. And if you're doing a $50 show, there's a good chance you're not giving 25 of it to some fuckhead for them to set your stuff up for you.
Oh, no, absolutely not. I had to set up my own gear and pay for my own drinks and shit.
I feel like setting up your drum set would be something you would want to do anyways because it's like tuning a guitar to your particular preference. So you wouldn't want just anyone setting your shit up and getting it all, out of whack or off tilt,
Right. Well, and another thing is it takes the biggest footprint on the stage, so I have to be there first. I have to stake my claim on the real estate, or otherwise I'm left with a little nook in the corner,
I didn't even think about that, but that is a very interesting point.
Yep.
Dude, that's crazy. So, like, and if you're playing a festival show where you gotta leave your shit, all day, bruh, like, you've really got to fight for that perfect positioning, with where your kit's going to be and how fast you can break it down and put it back together and whatever the fuck you got to do with it.
Well, that's another bitch part about it is when I set up first, everyone else's cables and shit are laying on top of mine. So I need them to get out of my way before I can tear it out.
Oh, man. You know what? As weird as it is, I do not miss the struggle of playing with rock bands at places, man, because I just feel like getting five people in tune to do something at the same time would be really difficult to do if they're not seasoned professional, hey, this is what we're here to do type people. I could imagine it being a pickle to get everything organized and keep it organized. And you've been in quite a few bands. So, like, you've done this shit, time and time again with different people to try to make it work. Can you tell us, like, some of your struggles that you've had with being in bands and, like, having to work with a group of people to make music?
Yeah, sure. You got to be around like-minded people, and the tough part, like, kind of getting back to the money thing, someone asked me about my band history earlier tonight. It was, I had to spend 10 years in a country band to keep the bills going because that was the best money at the time. You ask, well, how much money did you make in metal? It's like, I made like $24 in 7 years touring as a thrash metal only guy.
Yeah.
So that's the change.
Yeah, bro, that's a hell of a... But, I mean, I feel like you had a lot more fun being the metal drummer than you did in that fucking country band, that's for sure.
Yeah, another bitch about that was a lot of those time slots were covered by, several bands, 3 or 4 bands, so we have, 40 minutes to play. but I gotta set up, tear down, I gotta wait for the first guy to get out of my way, and then I've got to get the hell out of the other guy's way.
Dude,
Every one of those shows, you lose a microphone, a stand, a cable. You're losing money at every one of those damn shows.
Brutal. Like I was talking to, we have this, Matt Lynn is the guy that works for us that basically deals with all of our, any kind of tour stuff that we decide to do. He's the guy that knows where all the little dive bars are. He knows how to get to them. He knows how to book them. Like he's been booking bands for years. And he was also a DJ at UE. So we're talking with Matt about like how we're going to set up this stuff, and he's like, well, you definitely want to play at a bar that is close to the hotel that you're going to stay at. You don't want to have to go all the way across town risking anyone being intoxicated, or not the driver, but you don't want a car full of drunk motherfuckers anyways,
Oh, that's true. Your friends can get you in so much trouble.
Oh, yeah, they can. But, with rap music, I don't know. I feel like it's not as much of a big deal, but I think that's just society in general. Once somebody could pull a phone out of their pocket, go live, people have kind of calmed down on their irrational activity, in public.
Yeah.
Dude, they've got to, We're in a digital age where something you said 14 fucking years ago could be drug up from the trenches. You could have forgot about it. It could be taken out of context and not even matter now. But bruh, 100,000 people on Twitter that don't know you, take it the wrong way, and bruh, it'll sink a battleship real quick,
That is true. That's kind of why I jumped out of the social media game. So I just kind of laugh now, if I say something that hurts somebody's feelings, like, what are you going to do? Ban me from TikTok?
Yeah, tweet that, motherfucker.
What do you do? Get me kicked off Twitter?
That's fucking tremendous, dude. But yeah, man, as far as Twitter and social media stuff, man, it's been a crazy road. We haven't really had any kind of negativity or people lashing out or anything like that in quite a while, and it's been kind of beautiful. I feel like most of the negativity is distracted by trying to live, which is fine. Let motherfuckers do them, and let them exist in their own bubble. But being an artist in 2020 is a cool thing, but a really fucked up thing at the same time, because you can literally, like, I put a lot of effort into my project, but very little money for this new one that comes out August 21st. And I don't know, I just built it over time. It didn't kill me to build it, but I did bring in Ron to do some mixing and mastering. Oh yeah, dude, he did a verse on this Cypher track. That's one of the songs on it that I haven't let nobody hear, man. But it's a really tight song, man. And actually, him, Cluid, and Cluid did a great job on the song too. It's the best Cluid has ever sounded. I keep telling him, man. I'm like, dude, this is how you need to build your style and, like, develop your whole niche. And he's like, yeah, I know, but I want to branch out. I don't know, he's always trying different things to, like, get out there and constantly expand his shit, but he doesn't give it time to find out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, young people need instant gratification. They really do.
Yeah, that's true. It comes with the short attention spans, and everybody gets a fucking T-ball trophy now. I never find to fall out of that shit.
Bruh, it's really like that though. So much.
I'm not gonna apologize to you because you can't make $100,000 a year on your lesbian dance theory degree, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a hard fucking world. There are doctors that are fucking starving because they can't get jobs because they don't want to work in the COVID ward. There's people.
I'm kind of strong about that too. These fuckers. Educated does not equate, or it's not synonymous with intelligence.
Fuck no, it isn't. If they were so smart, why'd they have to go to fucking school for it?
You know?
I'm sorry, what? I was bitching.
I mean, there's some neurosurgeons that get their ass kicked by a flat tire, you know?
Oh, no doubt. You know, I mean, it's just a different thing, man, where you like, the whole flat tire theory is, you can change 100 tires for somebody, but if you just show them how to do it themselves, they'll fucking figure it out. And then it won't be your problem anymore, and you can kind of just rinse your hands of the situation, let it be what it is.
Yeah. Well, you know, the world's changing so fast, too. Like, I had an employee that I thought the world of, and he had this shitty little pickup truck. And, you know, he's a young guy, and he was going to IU getting a master's degree in something. I think athletics or something. But anyway, I was helping him with his brakes were locked up, and I was helping him with that. And I looked up and I realized, I was like, you may never use this knowledge at all. I was like, I'm showing you how to shoe a horse.
That's really what it is, though. Like, young people just don't understand. Like, I don't know. This release made me change my whole opinion on a lot of things, you know, financially. You know, where I can, like, kind of cut corners and just put forth the effort to do shit myself. So, remember when we were working together and I was recording new shit all the time and, like, I had a million ideas. I would come in with a bunch of songs and, you know, record that shit in those sessions?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer in that, man. Capture everything, even the things you think are shit. Capture those, man.
Oh, dude, because that shit becomes money. Like, and what I mean by that is I've gone back and I've taught myself how to, you know, mix and master. And, you know, kind of from the ground up, just, you know, struggling through it and getting every little fucking breath out of there that's not supposed to be. And, I don't know, I finally taught myself after all these years to, like, really listen for imperfections and polish them out, no matter how long it takes, no matter what method you have to use. And worst case scenario, I mean, I've even gone back and re-recorded shit to make it click up the way that I wanted it to. And
absolutely,
yeah,
I mean, some of the pros have like shitty vowel sounds that just are wrong, you know?
Oh, dude, something like I'll listen to something mainstream, and I'm like, man, how did that get through? Or like, how did they not catch that in post production? Dude, some of it's shh.
Yeah, I think it was that guy from Mudvayne. You know, it's like, in this hole, that is me. The dead are rolling over. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, kind of like a too sing-songy, too fucking, I don't know, like nursery rhyming, Dr. Seussy type shit, man. I don't know. I don't understand why so much shit gets in and so much doesn't. But a lot of that is, you know, major business and who's backing who, and, you know, it's hard for, I mean, it's easy for a mainstream artist to have a financial backing and then they break in with a TikTok song. You know, a song that just got popular on TikTok because they had advertising to put a pretty girl in there and throw it on TikTok, and then boom, everybody wants to do the goddamn cowboy dance with the cowboy song with the pretty girl in the cowboy hat, you know, and then boom, before you know it, fucking everybody is stomping down an Old Town Road for 6 months, and here we are. Oh, yeah, dude, it wouldn't go away forever, and now, like, I haven't heard it in, like, since coronavirus happened. It's like, it just, we stopped being happy and go lucky once that shit happened, and no more Old Town Road.
No, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, it's so superficial and shitty. Glenn Fricker runs a Spectrum music group out of Canada, and video he made like 8 or 10 years ago, he gratuitously hired a hot chick just to be in a video. Had no point whatsoever to the song or the band or anything. Just put her in the video, and that was the most successful thing he'd ever done. And he was like, "What the fucking fuck, you savages," you know?
Dude, it's like when we built Drink Alone, and like we didn't have no fucking collaborations, we didn't put $1 million into the production or anything. You even took the picture for the CD cover. I remember you set all that up, and it turned out great. It's one of my favorite covers of all time. Even after all the artwork and all the other shit people put into it, it's got that none of the other albums look like it, feel to it. It's just so standoutish. But
I went with the black. We did the green screen because I was figuring I could put you anywhere, the Taj Mahal or something, and nothing just felt right.
No, bro, it worked out exactly the way it should have, and that's kind of how things work out sometimes. But anywho, so with that album, I literally, like, dude, we didn't put $1 million in that motherfucker by any means. It was probably our lowest costing album ever, probably up until this one, because this one actually cost me like no money almost. Everybody kind of looked out and did favors and shit. It was really beautiful. But getting the other one, I mean, all we had to do was really pay for the production here and there. And man, it is to this day the highest streamed album that we have on Spotify by a lot.
Awesome.
By a lot, you know, and it's just one of those weird things. Even the stuff with Jelly, in some regards, doesn't do as good as it, you know, certain months. And I don't know why. I wish I knew why, but cool, you know. Sometimes
yeah,
it's...
that was your manager forcing you out of your comfort zone, you know?
Man, but that's a good thing because, you said time and time again, look, King Kold can stand on his own, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, I want to work with this guy and this guy and this guy. And I was so just eager to work with everyone and try to capture part of all of their fan bases to create my own. And, dude, that just takes time to organically do. And it takes a long time. You know, it takes years of good shit, you know. And I mean, if you think about it, rock music today, it isn't the same that it was even 10 years ago. You know, they rely so much on classic rock to keep mainstream rock listenable.
Yeah, everything's so in the box and, you know, set to the grid now that, you know, that nothing has a natural feel to it.
Nah, it really doesn't, man. It's all kind of got that cookie cutter shit to it now, and so much so that I heard I thought Five Finger Death Punch and Blood Wolf were the same fucking band forever. I literally thought they were I think they're called Blood Wolf, I don't know, Lone Wolf, whatever, but I literally thought they were the same band forever because they have such a similar thing to them. And, you know, sometimes labels do that shit, but, I don't know, man. I like the individuality of myself. I like knowing that there's not anyone that sounds like me, you know, for good or bad.
Absolutely, man.
It's important to be your own person out there in the world, man. And you really helped me out with that. You know, to kind of stand on my own feet and be like, yo, is this what you want to sound like? Is this, you know, how you want to portray yourself, you know? And I've taken that to heart in the ways that I've been rebuilding myself into this new artist that I am.
You know, and I really appreciated the musical relationship we had. That we could tell each other, man, that's done, man, do that again. Or I would, you know, mix something on, I could be like, oh man, I was not gonna go that way with that. And we could totally tell each other that, not fucking rage quit on each other, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude, I don't think we ever had a situation where we yelled at each other a single time.
Nah.
Like, really, we didn't. I yelled at myself because I would go into the studio and fuck something up and, you know, pissed. Oh, so mad. Like, I would do 4 fucking songs, or, you know, sometimes I would come in with just 3 songs and, like, 2 of them would be great. But, like, that last one, I couldn't hit the rhythm that I wrote it in, and, oh, it would drive me fucking crazy not being able to get it exactly the way I wanted it to. I always wanted to knock it out the park, and I feel like part of that was really overachieving. You know, or trying to overachieve, you know.
I really appreciate it we're talking about this, because I mean, your fans, I don't think they realize, you know, you don't just go in and one take this shit. Some of those tracks, and we don't know really which ones are which, but man, we put fucking months into that one track, you know.
Yeah, like,
they
dude.
don't realize that.
Yeah, like, how much time did we put into Make It Knock? A lot. Problematic. Hell, Problematic had like 3 different versions, and you had a live guitar version. Drinking Good, or Drinking Problems for that matter, it had 2 or 3 different versions, you know, because we kept adding to it.
That one had to be re-edited, remixed a few times. Funny story, that was the first professional rapper I pissed off in my producing career, I guess, with Jelly.
Well,
because I guess he wanted to be the first verse, and that didn't happen.
Well, I think it was just like an annoyance because of how, I think what his issue with it was that he had somebody that engineered it and then sent it to us, and I wanted the wave so we could bounce some shit around, and then when we when we sat and listened to his verse, we felt like it would be stronger being in the middle than being in the beginning. I don't know. And dude,
we both said that, once, because I think I did initially edit, or I think what was sent over, he was in the first slot. And, it just felt like the song went downhill from there.
Yeah, and it's like, man, I personally feel like they might have just layered it like that because we sent him a beat with nothing on it, and just sent him like the idea of what we wanted the hook to consist of, and then he built it. So he could have just, all right, I'm gonna just take the first verse because it's available. So fuck it, which is fine.
Whatsoever, or his text, they were going with what they had.
Oh yeah, and dude, they did a great job. We just wanted to go a different route with it, and like, there's no disrespect, but like, it was our fucking song, so we wanted to do it the way we wanted to do it.
Almost all of your collaborations were tracked in different parts of the country and put together in post,
Yeah, literally, like different parts that were brought together to form one whole.
Hell, different parts of the world.
Yeah, buddy, yeah. I mean, even with this new album, like, we literally have artists. We've got producers in Australia now, and one of them is named Shane Quinn, and he's a phenomenal artist. But he's putting his heart into his music. He's doing a great job building productions for us, and some of the stuff that this man comes up with, it's just, it's so different than what we have here from producers building. Like, it's just got its own feel to it. That Australian music vibe is a really cool fucking thing. Kind of like an early 90s rap vibe is what they're working with right now. It's really crazy how they're like literally, I don't know, 30 years behind us, as far as music goes, or like the way that they're vibing in their community. And dude, it's crazy. It's some really ill shit. What were your ideas for your podcast? I know you were going to work with your son on it, yes?
Yeah, we did some test runs, but this lighting and the files are so freaking huge. Shooting it in 4K, I don't know, it just kind of fizzled out, kind of withered on the vine.
Well, man, filming in 4K is difficult because editing is a pain in the ass, and if your video is too long, it'll literally shut your fucking computer down. You'll get the blue screen of death. It just overloads your computer and makes it run so fucking hot. Yeah, at least it does to mine. My system, I'm to the point where I've got a new one, but it's like when you get a new phone and you look at your old phone and you're like, I've done so much with this phone, I can't just turn it off and switch to a new one. But dude, that's how I feel about my computer. I'm just like, I'm going to use this one until it falls the fuck apart, and then I'm going to use my new one. But dude, the new setup is mad ill. Like, it kind of has like a lighting system like yours does, which makes me really love it. Like, the LED lights or whatever in it that shine, and you could change the color in it. And dude, it's just sick. I don't deserve this computer, and it doesn't deserve to sit in the corner, but eventually I will utilize it.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm sure you have a piece of equipment in your studio that you have not used in forever, but like, you're going to use it one of these days, so you better keep it type thing, right?
Yeah, the bad thing about hardware like that is that all the pots and shit die on them. They get all scratchy and shit when you try to boost the treble on something or roll the volume up or down.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
I'm having to go back and like rebuy this shit now. My big old guitar effects processor that I did all my first 2 albums with my solo albums. It's pretty much useless. I still have it, but it's useless, and I'm having to buy new gear.
I mean, eventually you got to it. Anything that you buy that's new will come with all the bells and whistles and cool stuff, and
it's way cooler than the shit I had before.
I mean, it is, but
I've bought a new distortion pedal. I started tracking some of my originals again. I've got like 7 of them in the works right now. But I'm just going straight to a Fender Twin and using a Boss DS1 crush pedal. That's it. Keep
bruh,
it simple,
the bare bones. That's what's up.
Keep it simple.
Hey, I mean, whatever, dude. Like, Green Day was a 3 fucking man band. I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be... I mean, although they did get unbelievably overly intricate towards, later in their career. That shit turned into, like, remember when Metallica got, like, super mega huge and started doing the shit with, like, the orchestras and shit like that, and it was really tight, but it was like, man, we liked you in the simple aspect. You really don't need to pay 93 people to play some shit in the background just to get our attention. But I guess it worked because we're talking about it all these years later.
Well, they kind of went back to their grassroots. They were going back and getting riffs off of cassette tape and shit that they were doing. They would record their jamming sessions while they're practicing.
Wow.
Going back, I think this Hardwired to Self-Destruct album was pretty much all old shit that they never used before.
Dude, I mean, fuck it. Like, I tell, basically, you taught me that whole philosophy of if it ain't been released, it's new to them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Just because it's owed to you doesn't mean it's owed to them. And
yeah, the Metallica album's got 30-year-old riffs on there, but no one's ever heard of them.
That's so dope, dude. I cannot. I would love to be able to go back, 16 years ago and have my original waveforms for my original tracks and be able to go in and fix stuff and level stuff out. But I mean, it would be damn near impossible. I mean, some of those producers have died, so it's not like I could go back and be like, hey, bro, can you remix this for me, or can you remake this for me? And dude, that's one of the things that kind of, sucks about music way back when. And I hate calling it way back when, but it was way back when. The first beats that Jesse Elliott, Stir Crazy, that he ever sent me were on a CD, because we couldn't transfer them via the internet. There wasn't a capability of it. We couldn't zip things down then,
Oh yeah, the files would have been way too big for that.
Way too big. Like you're talking like days of I would sit and upload my music at USI on their computer, because I was young as hell. I think I was like 16 or 17 when I was sneaking onto USI's campus. But I would literally go there and use their computer labs to upload my shit. And it was a cool thing to just sneak in there and see how the college was laid out and how people would sit and react to one another. But dude, I'd have to be there all fucking day taking up 2 computers because it would take so long for stuff to upload, and I wanted to play on the computer while I took up the other one. It's just the way I was, But dude, I used to do that weird ass shit just to get my music online. And now if you did that shit, you would get arrested because they freak out that you were some weird dude that was hanging out on college campus using their fucking internet to do your raps,
How far we've come, man. I mean, when I got into the business in the 80s, I started on a Tascam reel-to-reel 4-track.
No shit. 4-track.
4-track. Yeah.
So how'd you even make that work?
It sucked. You got 1 track, and you better make it count.
Wow. So it's like it better be the sweetness. You know what I'm saying?
And when you fucked up, even though you could go back and erase it, it wasn't completely gone.
So it was just kind of faint in the background?
Yeah. You like the Led Zeppelin, Whole Lot of Love?
I was going to say that. Led Zeppelin has some shit where their stuff is like, and you know what? I always thought that it was intentional because it was kind of like some Pink Floyd shit. But dude, it wasn't intentional. They were just fucking up and couldn't land their shit. And like, there's some little bit of residual shit that gets piled up there in the tape. And that's crazy, man, to even think of that.
Yeah, they could not get that out of there.
Dude, like, I might bitch and complain about my computer locking up here and there, or like it just crashing because there's bad weather or whatever. But like, I'm glad music has come so far from way back when, because bruh, that would have been an ongoing struggle that I don't know if I would have got through. Real shit.
There's a track on Slayer's South of Heaven album called Cleanse the Soul, and that's another one where it's sang twice, and they kept both versions. One was the timing was off, and they kept it.
Why'd they keep it?
Because it kind of has a question-answer vibe to it. Because it's like they put a drive-through speaker effect, or they squashed it down. The first one, and then the second one is at full volume, so it's they just kind of lay on top of each other. It's just, like I said, it was an actual mistake, a timing error in Tom's part, but they decided, fuck, let's just keep it.
I mean, we've done that before. Oh, for example, I went to upload Taking Control the other day, a song off of Drink of Riches 2, I think. And I found the dance remix one accidentally. And I was like, bruh, I forgot it even existed. But that dance remix one where it's like super thumping and the tempo super fucking fast on it. But it was actually really tight. And I uploaded it and then was like, fuck that. And I made a private video. So I might put it back out there again. But it was like a weird funky thing, man. But why not have that? Like, why not be able to take your art and paint it blue and then be like, all right, that's cool, but I also want to paint it red and sell that too. I mean, fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's all new to the consumer that hasn't had it and hasn't experienced it. And that's what I stress to my artists. I'm like, look, send me some shit. And they're like, oh, all I have is old stuff. I'm like, you fuck, I haven't even heard it. It's brand new to me. You didn't even have to tell me it was old stuff. I wouldn't have fucking known, and no one else would have either. Worst case scenario, if it's not up to par with what it needs to be on a performance, on a electronic scale, that we can throw it into the system and balance it out and clean it up and make it polished and brand new and shine. It's, I don't know, people put out ideas and then get hung up on them, and then they get so upset if they don't make $1 million out of it. And I'm like, man, it's not about one song, it's literally about putting out hundreds of them. And because you're going to gain a crowd and fan base for different reasons, for different songs, for different lengths of time. Some fans are going to stay for a long time. Some fans are going to show up at one show and then dip. It's just the way it is.
That concept does work, because a lot of people don't realize, like, a lot of Hendrix those were covers. Those were old fucking Memphis blues covers. I Love Rock and Roll is a cover. Quiet Rights, Come On Feel the Noise. That's a cover song. They didn't write that.
I did not know that.
Knows the original artist, and so they just, they love the remake way better than the original.
Wow, that's crazy. I did not know that.
Am I Evil by Metallica. That's a Diamond Head song. It's a cover.
I did know that. And I know that they did a couple other ones too. Whiskey in the Jar, that's a cover.
Yeah.
And
Lizzie, I believe.
yeah, it is Thin Lizzy. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I sound smart, but I discovered them 3 years ago. I should have discovered them.
Crazy is a Queen song.
No shit, I did not know that.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, buying the rights to remake something and publish something in a different way, it can be cool, but at the same time, it can be a pain in the ass. I know an artist that I won't, name drop him or anything, but he did a song with Lil Wayne, and it's literally taken him almost a year to get everything cleared to release the damn song. And he put a lot of money into it, buddy.
Well, I guess my point I was trying to make was the older stuff that you hate of your own library that didn't get released or had almost no market saturation. You could put a modern spin on that, and it's brand new.
100%. Yeah.
You already know the guy who wrote it, so
I mean,
you're gonna get sued.
R. Kelly isn't a fucking popular topic right now, but with that Trapped in the Closet shit, he literally took the same beat and sold the same song over and over and over again to people, and made a whole album off of one production. and it was kind of a genius concept to be able to do it,
Hell yeah.
So look, there's nothing wrong with taking something that you've already put out and re-releasing it, especially if you're not sitting on $1 million and on a yacht eating sushi. If you haven't made it, bro, you got to keep trying and keep hitting different avenues and expanding. I got in a huge argument with one of my artists because they didn't want to expand their reach on Facebook by adding more people. I'm like, look, you need to get out there. If people wanna link up with you on Facebook, do it. Be cool with people. I broke down the math for him, and I was like, look, you have 723 friends on Facebook. You get 10% of that reach. So 73 people see something when you post something. Now, how many of those people are going to buy a t-shirt when you post it? 10% of that if you're lucky. So you've sold 7 t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? It really matters when you're breaking down the numbers and you're like, yo, if you had 5,000 people, you would have had 500 people saw it. You would have had 50 people that wanted t-shirts. It's a whole different number now.
Absolutely.
70 to 500 is a huge difference when you're like, do I have enough money to get to Indy from Evansville or to get to Gary from Indy? You've got to make, take steps towards, tomorrow and, investing your money forward, and it's just crazy to think that a lot of people don't do that in regard to music. They'll put shit out. It doesn't do what they want it to do. And it's like, oh, back to the drawing board. And it's like, man, release it a different way or wait. For example, the 40 Bad Bitches video just blew up out of nowhere. And we just got another bunch of comments, bunch of likes, bunch of people sharing it, and they're like, yo, Rich was trying to tell you about sex trafficking forever ago and all this shit. And I'm like, we fucking were. People don't understand how far ahead of shit we were. And that race riot shit, we literally called that in the fucking Runaway video. So dude, people don't understand how far ahead of the game we are in regard to our ideas and the way that shit blossoms out. Man, just because something doesn't blow up and isn't astronomical doesn't, at first doesn't mean that it won't be 10 years down the road when you're already putting out stuff and you've got a little bit more notoriety, and then people take more of your music serious or into consideration, and then boom, you've got 2 or 3 hit songs and 2 of them are fucking 5 years old, you know?
Yeah, we probably were a little too ahead of the curve there.
I mean, you know what? It was a beautiful learning experience, man, and I would not go back and change any of it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like everything worked out the way that I wanted to, and I mean, anytime I've needed you for something, man, you've been right there. If I've had a question about the program or like, yo, what should I do with this, and you've given me your honest opinion, and it's worked out very well, you know. But I understand that dealing with running a label is stressful. And dude, I couldn't have imagined you having to deal with running a label and dealing with, this COVID-19 bullshit at the same time, bro. That would have been a lot of pain in the ass.
Yeah, it was. I took on too much, man. I broke my brain. I just took on way too much. You know, I'm sorry I let you down like that.
Oh, I mean, dude, you didn't. Like, you took me through the trenches plenty of times, and you were the first one to run over that fucking hill in charge. You know, like, you literally helped me in so many aspects, and you taught me to be a more responsible artist by accepting my missteps and my misadventures in the business. Like, I've gone back and squashed a lot of problems that I've had with people. Not all of them, and some of them I won't, because fuck that. But a bunch of them I have gone back and just been like, yo, I don't give a fuck why we had a problem. I don't want to have a problem with you now. And it's been like a really beautiful thing, you know. I've linked up with a bunch of people that I never thought I'd ever talk to again, you know, and didn't really have to, but wanted to just squash it out. And dude, it's worked out astronomically in one aspect or another. Whether it's linked me up with another producer or somebody to interview or what have you, you know.
Yeah, kind of getting back to the timing thing. I just realized you dropped a song called America like 2 years before Childish Gambino.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I guess the timing wasn't right or something.
And you know what? I see that a lot in the way that stuff was dropped. And it's not like we should have waited for a particular time. We were just doing our thing, and it just so happened that the world revolved around it. After a while, you know, it didn't make sense, but it seems that way. The America song, you know what I'm saying? And even like where Minnicide in his verse, like the way that the things that he talks about in the subject content, dude, some of that shit hadn't happened yet. So it's like, it's really creepy to go back and listen to it and be like, yo, man, that's eerie just to hear it like this and like that, and realize, how far ahead of the game that we were with everything, you know, in one regard or another.
Yeah, you have to forgive me for not remembering all the names, because goddamn, how many albums did we track together, dude?
A lot. Like, we literally have so many that, I think there's 14 or 15 after everything got organized and laid out, and then I set release dates and kind of like ballpark, you know, dates of when I want to do stuff. Like, it's music for the next 10 years. No doubt.
I think it was the last verse in Hates Me, man. That guy really dropped some heat, man. It was real personal, but it was like exactly what's going on now, but that was 2 years ago, you know?
Oh, dude, that was Jacob Snyder. That was Cass 1.
No, was it Cass 1?
Yeah, 100% it was. He's the last verse on Hates Me. Promise you.
Maybe it was the second to last. Was it,
Cleasy was on there too. Cleasy Jones.
I thought we had damn it, I can't think of his name. It was a black guy. What was his name? But like, you could tell he's self-censored. He didn't cuss. You know, it's like, I'm tired of this
Oh man, who was that?
I'm gonna dig the album out again to figure out who that was. I'm so sorry, whoever you are, sir. You
Fuck it. Dude, do you know how many people we've worked with? We can't remember everyone off the top of the head. Like, I was trying
to...
to...
two names, too. Like, you mentioned, Ron, and I immediately was playing his tag in my head. DKM makes the beats.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, I'm telling you, I keep a lot of the shit organized by, like, the tags, like, oh, well, that's J Money, tight. So this goes in the J Money category. This goes in the Ron category. I got Shane stuff over here. Like, it's real easy to keep it organized like that. And I understand that the producers do that so that they get their credit no matter what, which is cool. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I work it to my advantage in a lot of regards. Like when Cherry would do his, when Joey would do his, oh, and by the way, Joey is actually part of the label now. Like, he's our in-house producer now. He builds shit directly with us now.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a great kid, man. When we finally linked up, he was selling this SUV, and he sold it so he could go all the way to LA and build some beats for some dudes out there. But, He ended up moving back, and now he's working directly with us again. But, he stayed with the label and rode with us the whole time. He just did it from a distance like everybody else does. And, man, he's a phenomenal artist. He's coming along so well. He really is. He's going to be a monster. Interscope's going to steal him. Like, I've already accepted in my heart that it's going to happen. Like, we're going to lose him to somebody more important than us, and power to him. I'm not upset at that at all. I don't try to hold anybody back in regard like that. I want the best for them.
That's a good subject to start, actually, because I think the big brick and mortar labels are going to be a thing of the past, because you can see their desperation. They're suing the shit out of everybody. Playing songs that are 78 years old and shit.
Oh yeah, dude. Like,
they're desperate.
They really are.
To be that big,
Well, so much of their money was built around performances, and so much of it is built around being able to put money into commercials and put money into movies. And once movies took a hit, bruh, that eliminated 50% of that. And now commercials are all about fucking do what you can to stay safe during these troubling times. You know what I'm saying? And, like, they don't give a fuck about putting a Jay-Z song in that. They're trying to sell Kleenexes. They're trying to fucking sell rims and TVs and shit. And, like, they're just not pushing material shit like that because they know people aren't spending money like that. Or they don't have it at all because everybody's fucking laid off. So the whole industry's changed. It's so much so to where I didn't even do hard copies on this new CD. I'm like, fuck it, it's all digital now. That's boxes of shit that doesn't have to be in my basement for a month. And everybody's like, well, you're going to lose that avenue of money. And I'm like, maybe. But I want them to focus on the digital aspect of it, because if they listen to it online, then they can share that link to their friends and it will blow up. It'll have to. Either that or they'll be stuck streaming stuff forever. But, dude, the physical aspect of things has really been a pain. Going to the post office is an absolute nightmare. 20 people in fucking line. It takes 2 hours. Like, it's a chore now.
So using the same one down here?
Yeah, man. Well, sometimes, like, dude, there's been a few times where I've gone to it and it's been so packed out the door. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna drive all the way to the north side just to use that one to avoid standing in line. And then I get to that one and it's significantly lower, but they have like a immediate drop-off thing. So, like, if you're sending a package that's already pre-packaged, you could just go up to the lady, pay her right there. She stamps that shit and sends you with your receipt. Boom. Immediate. You know, the other location does not fucking do that. So, like, you guys sit there and deal with the teller, and they gotta weigh your box and go through all the bullshit. It's such a pain in the ass, you know, compared to just walking in there and, peace, here's my shit, I gotta go. Send my comics to Alaska. Cool.
Yeah, that's true. You do have a bit of an eBay business going, don't you?
Dude, it's been outrageous. It's been so crazy that, like, I stopped listing shit. Because because I'm dealing with, my factory job full time, which is doing great. We're doing phenomenal business there. It's keeping me busy, and it's hot as fuck in there, so I'm losing a ton of weight. But I also work out. I'm doing yoga. I'm into martial arts again, so like I'm doing Xiaozhang Kung Fu a little bit, and dude, just staying super busy. I'm farming and growing my own food. I've been doing a lot to just stay busy and keep myself moving. I was the busiest person that during everybody's laid off time. I just was always doing some kind of stupid shit. Built an album between us, and I guess everybody's gonna hear about it. But I've got an album that I'm gonna drop on Halloween as well, which is a follow-up to 2020 Family Reunion. It's not as big as 2020 Family Reunion because that album was 22 tracks. Dude, it was big as hell. It was 108 minutes or some stupid shit. It was really, really, really big. Some of the songs were super huge, really long. I've got a cypher song on there that's like 7 minutes or something. But the cool thing about it is like most cypher tracks, I hear them and I get tired of fucking listening to them because they're so long, and I'm like, this is so repetitive, and like, but dude, we made it so clean and switched it up, and like some of the verses we just stacked 2 artists into it to make it so it wasn't like the same shit over and over, you know what I'm saying? It switched up a lot. And that was a really cool song to build. We put Jade the Nightmare, we put Cluid, myself, Ron Different Kind of Man, and then Dizzy put Dismay dropped this fucking phenomenal verse for that fucking song. Like, dude, it's probably one of my favorite off of the album, no doubt. And it's not even my verse, but like, it's on my album, so it's my verse. It's what he gets for overachieving, fucking cunt. Nah, but dude, they're all doing really good. They're just in a pretty good place in life, just evolving as artists and trying to find themselves in the world. And it's great seeing them get ambitious and, really go for the gold,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, bruh, it's been great. But look, when you decide to do your podcast, if you get it off and running, definitely hit me up. I'll definitely do a episode with you, and I'll do it on your format. So like, you can build it however you want to. I'll even get myself looking pretty, and that way you could do video of it too if you need to. But
yeah, I think I definitely want to do video. I have bought some more gear and stuff. I've got lapel mics and shit now.
Yo, no shit. That's what's up. That was always a dream. It was all a dream.
That's right.
It was. But dude, it's crazy. Like, my studio is totally covered in fucking foam. I got a Sega Genesis in this motherfucker. Like, a PlayStation 2 hooked up. I got more comics than I could ever read. Like, it's comfy in here. But I don't know. I've kind of made it my own, and my workspace is just, it inspires me to be creative and to continue to stay driven, I keep a strict agenda. So like, if I do something, I write it down, and I make sure that I do something for my music every day. It doesn't matter what's going on, whether it's a podcast or I'm uploading a video or I'm re-uploading something on YouTube that's older music. Like, dude, I keep it moving every day with something different, you know, and some of it works out great and some of it fails horribly. But dude, I try every day to get that little bit further, you know, and it really matters in the long run. I've noticed,
Yeah, it does.
yeah, the effort does pay off. It definitely does. I learned that hard work ethic from you because I remember when you came into the whole situation, man, you weren't going to let anything be half-assed, which is why we kept our circle really small so we didn't have to worry about anything like that. And, I learned a lot from you, and I really appreciate you putting so much time and effort into my music and my art. Like, it was beautiful of you, and I'll never forget it, you know?
You know, and I've changed my perspective on that too. You know, now that I've had some time to step back and look at it from the outside, you know, I was really, really down on myself, thinking, man, I screwed this production up, or I did this wrong, or I did that, you know, because all the mistakes, I hear them glaring at me, you know, when I listen to the music. But now that I've listened to a lot of other people's music, that they spent a fuck ton of money getting it produced, I stand behind everything I did, man.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, man. Like, look, all of it can be readjusted later, and like a lot of it is just ideas that you kind of, you know, let sit back there and simmer because the world's not ready for it yet. You know, but it's hard to pick and choose when it is. And realistically, sometimes the world's never ready for art. Most painters, they don't fucking matter until they die. And if they die, they're really lucky if they matter afterwards, you know, because...
Seriously, and like, I mean, you know, I used to take that shit to heart, like, oh man, your guy's real fond of reverb or this or that. If you listen to any of the first 4 Van Halen albums, and turn your balance over to the right, you'll hear nothing. It's just swimming in fucking reverb.
And also, how I look at that is nobody has the motherfucking handbook wrote out of what music's supposed to be. It's ever evolving and changing. It's like science. Like once we think we have something on lock and that it's 100% fact, a goddamn giant squid washes up on the North Carolina shore, and then we've got to rewrite everything, all of history, because we found the body of a squid that we thought long since gone, or maybe not have existed at all. You know, that shit was in pirate logs and, you know...
there be dragons on the map.
Bruh, exactly. And now it's like, oh, that they exist, and we've found them, and we have videotaped them. You know, so eventually I'm hoping that people catch up with the idea of not to discount something just because they don't believe in the importance of it. You know, I don't like pop music very much, but I'm not gonna act like their production isn't dope. I'm not gonna act like I don't wish that one of them would holler at me and be like, yo, Bruno Mars needs a King Cole verse. You know what I'm saying? Here's this $11,000. You know what I'm saying? Please do this for us. You know what? God damn it, Bruno Mars. I'll just call in the work and do it. You know what I'm saying? I'll just hook you up, Bruno. Don't worry. You know, it's just crazy. People think that they have the whole idea and concept of music on lock, and realistically, none of us do, and we might not ever. You know.
Well, and the people who bitch the most are the people that haven't done anything. They were too scared to do it themselves.
Oh, dude, 100%. Here's how rap music works. There's guys that are out there doing it that are trying their motherfucking best to get to the next level. All right, and then there's dudes that are sitting at home upset at those guys because they're trying to get to the next level and criticizing them for what they're doing. Then there's guys that haven't even started music at all that are criticizing the guys sitting at home because they're not living up to their full potential. And then there's the guys that have absolutely no idea what the fuck they're doing at all and think they have the idea of what they're doing that are watching all the other ones hate on each other. You know what I'm saying? And then there's that top level of people that are too goddamn wealthy and busy to care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah, you know, money don't make it fucking successful.
No, hell no.
Right now, after this, the Foo Fighters was called the $1 Million Demos. And that mix is dog shit. I'm sorry. But
yeah, dude, so much of music is hit or miss, and oh my god, some of it that gets through is brutal to think that.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking the Foo Fighters whatsoever. What I'm saying is that they got themselves painted into a corner where they just kept throwing money and more time and different guys and just everything. They pushed too hard.
I feel like they made fun of that on Walk Hard, didn't they? I think they made fun of Johnny Cash's phase where he was sounding a lot like Bob Dylan and just doing weird shit, bringing in like fucking, he would bring in like Ugandan bass player because he thought like dropping the money on it would have to be so. And dude, it can become.
That's what Beach Boys did.
Bruh,
Brian Wilson went nuts with that shit.
Who did?
Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. He went nuts with that shit.
Wow, really?
Yeah. He painted himself in the corner of his own psychosis, you know, his own obsessive issue. Whereas when you look back at someone, you know, my age has been doing this a long time, some of my best work was on the shittiest gear.
I mean,
that's all I had.
Bruh, 100%.
Shine through on that crap equipment, you know.
But dude, you work with what you can, and
now I've got everything, and I can't make myself fucking do it.
Bruh,
you know.
You know how I stay motivated with doing it? I look at it as it's not going to do itself. If I set a release date, even if it's a fictional one, it's going to keep me motivated to achieve the little bits of things that I have to do. So like if I need an album cover, I know I need to tell Justin Parker, hey, I need this album cover. I'll give him a 4-day notice, dude. He'll have it back to me in 3, ba-boom. You know, I've got my shit ready, you know, and he'll do above and beyond work on it. He'll make it phenomenal. It'll glisten and shine, you know, and I've figured out that is my go-to person for album art. And, you know, I've got a dude that does my t-shirts, and I got people that do logos, and I've got my production people, and I mix and master stuff almost in-house exclusively now. Because I like being able to put forth that much of me into the music now. Before it was just like I wanted to write 300 songs, and now I'm perfecting those songs. I'm going back and I'm like, what can I add to this to make it better? Some of it's like I take out stuff, you know, like I'll make it shorter. Or
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, because sometimes less is more, and I'm pretty sure.
The rabbit hole video.
Yeah.
It started out as this rainbow kaleidoscope thing with block letters floating in the air and shit, and it went completely different. You know, and I decided when I was elbow deep in it, you know, I dumped 3 weeks of editing to go with the noir theme. You know, the dark theme of it.
But dude, it worked out so great, and it was so perfect for the entire album to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I was in it, you know, and I realized that, like, I'm making a huge mistake by making this, you know, all colorful and, you know, Alice in Wonderland kind of, you know, I felt like I'm going the wrong way with this.
Well, I mean, because that, like, people thought that was the general concept of it, and they didn't realize that, I even made a post, and it, like, clicked for a lot of people, but I was like, yo, Down the Rabbit Hole, wasn't about my problems with drugs. Like, it was about everybody else's problems with drugs, and like my perception of seeing, like, the guy that I wrote that first verse about, you know, the spoons and the pins and all of that was a buddy of mine that did heroin, dude. He ended up dying from that shit.
Yeah.
So, like, it really hit close to home 2 years later when I'm like, fuck, man, the guy I wrote that song about, watching him argue with his motherfucking baby mama's family and just shitting all over him publicly and all kinds of shit. Dude, he ended up dying from that shit. And, it was fucked up that I literally wrote that song all about that. You know, but it's just one of those things, man, where when you write music that you try to make as real as possible, that you take from something, you know, that's going on around you, bruh, it will be the realest shit when it comes to, you know, full circle with the whole situation.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Man, I've had a good time doing this, man. We should do this again.
Dude, James, we will do this again 100%, man. And you know, anytime you need to get a hold of me, man, boom, hit me up with a call. I'm always available to you. And, you know, I hope vice versa, it's the same.
Yeah, I've just been hiding in my depression hole, you know.
Well, look,
my money.
and we all go through that shit, 100%. We all go through
I don't
it.
go out anymore, so, you know, I just keep stacking my savings, because I don't know what tomorrow brings, you know.
Dude, that's really the way that you should look at it, too, because I am doing the same thing, and I'm planning for a better tomorrow, and, I mean, if there is a tomorrow, you know.
You know, and that's something that scared me. Joe Rogan scared the shit out of me. Someone was like, but you'll be fine because you're rich. And Joe just looked at that guy straight. He said, you know what scares me? I'm going to wake up tomorrow and the U.S. dollar is going to be worthless.
It is. Dude, 100%. It's not going to matter. And so much so that they sunk it with shutting down businesses, which they had to do. Dude, that was not an option, you know. And for anybody that argues that, my cousin, her name is Jerry, she moved from Moorhead, Kentucky to Louisville. She got relocated there. Or she ended up in Louisville, for that matter. She is at the biggest hospital in Louisville. They threw a decent amount of money at her to transfer, and she's dealing with a bunch of fucking sick people. And dude, the hospital is fucking overrun. Like, it's outrageous. She's like, I am literally getting paid an outrageous amount of money to be here, but she's earning all that money. Like, it's a hellhole, you know, just all the shit that they're going through and the different waves of sick people. Like, it's not a fucking game. It's not a situation where it's necessarily going to go away either. You know, this might be the better of our years. And it's a scary fucking thought to think back on. Damn, remember when we had clean water in 2020? That was the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God,
Showed me
dude.
a meme the other day. It was the number 13 says, I'm the most unluckiest number ever. And 666 says, oh, I've got you beat. And then 2020 says, hold my beer.
That's so legit, too. That's so fucking legit. All right, James. Well, look.
I got an idea, man. How about hit up your following, man, and have them submit some questions or something, see what they want me to talk about.
Dude, that would be cool. I'll definitely talk with my people and be like, yo, send me some suggestions for James Drums on the podcast and see what he wants to shoot the shit about. But
totally anything, man.
dude, I'm telling you, current events from your perspective is definitely the way to go sometimes, man, because you sell your opinion and people are already familiar with what you're talking about. You know, I mean, I hit target audiences of wrestling, rap music, and associated, related bullshit. You know, if a movie is out that people are hype about, we talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. If fucking somebody's dropping a new album,
oh my God, why does he have human teeth?
Bruh, don't get me started. We ate that movie alive so bad. I felt horrible about it when they fixed everything. Cause like I shit on somebody's art and I felt bad about it, but dude, it was really bad. And to be honest, after everything was said and done with them fixing Sonic, I was still shit on the fact that Jim Carrey was in it. Cause Dr. Robotnik was a fat human, and I think it was fucked up for them to use a skinny human in a fat human role. And that's just how I feel about it. Being a fat human, I felt like all fat people were discriminated against, and we deserved fat Dr. Robotnik. That's just how I feel about it. Real shit. But yeah, James, if you ever need anything, holler at me, man. Thank you for being a part of the show. We really appreciate it, man, from everybody here.
I really appreciate you having me on, man. And like I said, if anybody, wants me to talk about something, absolutely hit me up, man. All right, brother.
All right, man. You have a good one, bro.
All right, stay strong, King Kold.
I need the car that's off the hook. Old school dope look. Paint job got them shook.
You are now listening to a Power Requires Hustle presentation.